Now, speaking of victories, let's talk about Citi Field last night. And we'll put this under the heading of Diamond Notes. How about that, guys?
Why not?
Brought to you by London Jewelers and driven to you by Nissan. That's a nice win for the Mets because they turned him loose on 3-0 after the Orioles had come back. And one quick aside, nobody's bullpen is good. No one. So they bring in Sir Anthony Dominguez. He grooves a 3-0 fastball to Alvarez. And
Is he
Alvarez
knighted?
crushes it. Crushes it. That's a big win for the Mets, and it's the rare Mets win where Yankee fans go, you know what? LGM, let's go Mets.
Yeah, why not? Because that's the team you're battling with for the division, the Baltimore Orioles. And I thought it was important for Alvarez to get it too, because he's had a very strange season. That's only his 6th home run. He had 25 last year in like 365 at-bats. Now he's had over 200 at-bats on only 6 home runs. So, yeah, partially it's been injuries that have held him down. But that's a guy that I think can really help carry this team because they don't have a great starting staff. They don't have a great bullpen. But they are, I think, potentially, they can be an outstanding offensive team, and I think that really has to carry them. So if it's not going to be Lindor, if it's not going to be Alonso, Alvarez can be every bit as potent offensively as those guys have been able to contribute. And if they can get a big last 6 weeks from him, I think you can get more from Martinez, who only has 12 home runs now. I think the offense is going to be what's going to carry them past the Braves and get them into the postseason.
It's weird, though. Did you watch it live, Don?
Yeah.
I thought it was thrilling. I mean, just the... I'm not a big fan of celebrating before you come out of the box, but everybody does it. And that ball was way gone.
Yeah.
And then the way they shut the lights off at Citi Field, the way the team reacted. Some wins have a little more legs than others. That's a nice win for the Mets. There's no other way you could look at it. So they're 2 back in the loss column from the Braves. I think that the Padres and the Diamondbacks are pulling away, although the Mets could certainly make some noise on their road trip. That starts after the 3-game set in Citi Field. They have 4 against the Padres, 3 against the Diamondbacks. They will declare then if those 2 teams have to worry. But if those 2 teams take care of business against the Mets, then the Mets have 1 team they have to beat, and that's the Braves. So every time you can win a game like that, and I also love it was a great broadcast moment too. Gary said what every play-by-play guy said, 3-0, would you green light him? And Ronnie and Keith both said no. And obviously Mendoza green-lighted him. He hit a home run. It was just, everything was great about it. Even as somebody who's not a Met fan, Don, you must have been happy. I mean, you must have been jumping up and down.
Sitting there with Marco. And, yeah, it was right off the bat. And listen, it's not my style to celebrate in that way, but even no one really can have a problem with the way he was slow out of the box. That was way gone.
Way gone. Right? And it was a great celebration.
So usually you kind of get caught up in, well, what if it's the top of the wall? Now we could add a runner.
No, there was no chance.
In scoring position. He hit it 425 feet, and it was against the wind, too, because it was a windy night. That was a bomb, an absolute bomb of a home run. It was a big home run because after what had happened on Sunday and what's been happening lately with these blown leads, and we saw it against the Oakland A's when they blew the 5-0 lead, is that would have been another game where they were up comfortably, it felt like, and then the Orioles chip away, and then you had the balk and then the home run, and they kind of took Peterson out of it a bit, and it would have just been another really difficult loss had they lost that game in extra innings. So to be able to win it the way that they did, I think it really stabilized things. Every game is so important, and that's a really good team in the Baltimore Orioles. So that was a lot of fun last night. And then the interesting debate, and I get you want to try to get a base runner, but Michael, I'm of the belief that, if you get your pitch to hit it. Like, it's nice to walk, and it's nice to manufacture the go-ahead run, but you know what? I know he hasn't had a great offensive season, but he is a home run hitter.
In the game.
So if you see your pitch, hit it. And you can make the case he really didn't see his pitch. It was kind of inside, but boy, he turned on it. It was a monster hit. So I was very surprised that both Keith and Ron would have the red light on him. Why not give him the green light in that situation to try to win the game?
And I think you have that faith in your batters too, that they will swing at a good pitch. It won't be a ball 4, because a good hit, like you give a green light to a great hitter, if it's ball 4, they're not going to swing at it. So you accomplish both of the things that you want to do. And if somebody happens to groove one down the middle, and this wasn't down the middle, it was a nice piece of hitting, but it was a strike. Thrilling moment for the Mets. And I do want to, some people on social media, but not a lot. I'm a Yankee fan. It's tough to root for the Mets. Well, then you're a fool. Because these 3 games, you have to be the biggest Met fan of all time. Because the Orioles winning and losing is going to decide whether or not you finish first in the American League East. You all have to be Met fans today. Sorry.